Hello students, from today we're going to start a new chapter and the name of the chapter is carbon and its compound. Okay, before this we have finished chemical reaction chapter. Now we go with carbon and its compound, that is chapter 9 of your book. So when you watch this video, do refer the book also simultaneously. Okay, so do remember carbon is one of the very important elements, students, and it comes under non-metal. Okay, carbon comes under non-metal, and we're going to learn about this non-metal, which is a very important compound in this chapter, and its compound, students. Okay, and you know the symbol of carbon is what? C. Symbol of carbon is C, to remember, and its atomic number is 6, so the electronic configuration will be 2 comma 4. Its symbol is C and atomic number is 6, so electronic configuration will be 2 comma 4. And since it has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, therefore its valency is 4. Okay, we then neither write positive 4, negative 4, we simply write 4. Since it has 4 in the outermost shell, so its valency is 4, students. Now we are going to see its compound. Okay, carbon compound, and it's very important, students. Now you can see out here, students, carbon is widely distributed, okay, distribute element and forms innumerable compounds with oxygen and hydrogen. So carbon usually form compounds either with oxygen or hydrogen, and there are many compounds of carbon with oxygen and hydrogen, though it combined with some other elements also. Now do remember there are two compounds which we have to learn of carbon. One is called organic compound, which we learn under organic chemistry. It's a branch of chemistry where we discuss about carbon compounds. The other is inorganic compounds, which we learn under inorganic chemistry. Okay, so carbon can form organic compound as well as inorganic compound. So organic compound we learn under organic chemistry. Inorganic compound we learn under inorganic chemistry, and this branch of chemistry you will segregate from class 11. What is organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, you will come to know from class 11. For the time being, do remember carbon forms organic compound as well as inorganic compound. So some compounds of carbon you can see out here is here given, like methyl alcohol, formula CH3OH. So do remember the formula of methyl alcohol as CH3OH. Acetic acid, formula CH3COOH. And do remember, students, do remember that acetic acid is also known by the name vinegar. Another name of acetic acid is vinegar, which we put in chow mein, right? Which we put in chow mein, or if you want to preserve pickle, we add vinegar. Okay, so acetic acid, another name is vinegar, whose formula is CH3COOH, do remember. And methyl alcohol, formula is CH3OH, students. But not only this, it even forms hydrocarbon. Now do remember what does hydrocarbon means. Hydrocarbons are those compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen. In the name only there is answer, students. Hydrocarbon means compound containing carbon and hydrogen, and you can see here there is only carbon and hydrogen. You can see here only carbon and hydrogen is there. So if a compound contains only carbon and hydrogen, that is called hydrocarbon. And some of the example of hydrocarbon is methane, whose formula is CH4, and ethane, whose formula is C2H6. So do remember that acetic acid is also known by the name vinegar. Remember the formula. Methyl alcohol, formula you remember, and hydrocarbon means compound containing carbon, hydrogen. And some example of hydrocarbon is methane and ethane, which contains only carbon and hydrogen. But in inorganic chemistry, it forms inorganic compounds like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. So carbon monoxide formula is CO, carbon dioxide, which is very poisonous gas, you know that. So name a poisonous compound of carbon, so it's carbon monoxide, okay? And carbon dioxide we exhale out during respiration. It is also inorganic compound of carbon. The other one is calcium carbonate. The other is calcium carbonate. So it is inorganic compound of carbon, formula CaCO3. And this calcium carbonate is also known by the name limestone. So do remember calcium carbonate is also known by the name limestone, whose formula is CaCO3. And you know that Taj Mahal is made up of marble, right? So this is also referred as marble. So whether you say marble, whether you say limestone, or whether you say calcium carbonate, all three are same, and the formula of that is CaCO3, and Taj Mahal is made up of this. The other compound of carbon is calcium bicarbonate, and the formula of that is CaHCO3. Another compound of carbon is calcium bicarbonate. Formula is here, students, do remember. And there is one acid of carbon, and that acid of carbon is known by the name carbonic acid. Formula H2CO3. Formula is H2CO3. So do remember these all formulas, students. Okay. Now, other compounds of carbon include sugar. Also contains carbon, student. Actually, the formula of sugar is here, C12H22O11. This is the formula of sugar actually. I'm showing this for out knowledge. So C12H22O11 is the formula of sugar. And you can see it also contains carbon. Similarly, starch is complicated, it has complicated formula. I'm not going to show you, but do remember sugar formula is here. Starch, fuel, and synthetic fibers are also the compounds of carbon. So these are our organic compound of carbon. And do remember, what does hydrocarbon means? Compound containing only carbon and hydrogen is called hydrocarbon. Example, methane, ethane. Remember, acetic acid is also known by the name vinegar. Remember the formula, methyl alcohol formula you have to remember. And carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide are the inorganic compound of carbon. And do remember, limestone, marble, and calcium carbonate means same, and the formula is CaCO3. Remember the formula of calcium bicarbonate, and remember the acid of carbon is called carbonic acid. Formula H2CO3. And there are some other compounds of carbon like sugar, starch, fuel, and synthetic fibers, in which the formula of sugar is out here. This is I have given you for the out knowledge. So now this you can remember all the time. You know that you intake sugar back home, right? So this is required. This formula is required for higher studies. So from now on only you will start saying this formula of sugar. So if sugar is less in your tea, don't ask for sugar to your parents. Do ask, Mama, can you give me one spoon of C12H22O11? Then Mama will ask you, Beta, what you are asking for? Then you say sugar. In that case, you are not trying to show off to your parents that you know such complicated formula, but you are saying it to remember forever. Okay, so do use in day-to-day life. Now, we will see other occurrence of carbon. Do remember, carbon exists in free state as well as in combined state. It exists in free state as well as in combined state. In free state, okay, carbon exists in the form called diamond graphite. So do remember, the formula of diamond is also C, that is carbon. Graphite formula is also C, that is carbon, because both are the crystalline form of carbon. Whereas the amorphous form of carbon is coal, which are formed below the Earth's surface. So do remember here, carbon can exist in free state. And what are the free state of carbon? In crystalline form, it's diamond graphite, and in amorphous form, it's coal, which we get below the Earth's surface. Now we will see combined state. In combined state, carbon occurs in the form of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, CO2, and other combined state is hydrocarbon. And I have already said you, hydrocarbon means compounds of carbon and hydrogen. Okay. And those hydrocarbons are present in natural gas and petroleum. In solid state, it occurs in wood. So inside wood also we find carbon, students, and that is cellulose. In plants and animals also, you know, carbohydrate is present in our body. So carbohydrate is present in our body means it contains what? Also carbon. Okay. And in minerals like limestone, which I have already explained you up here, limestone, marble, and calcium carbonate means same thing is mentioned here. So do remember. So you'll mark it on the book and you can study from the book itself. So do remember the definition of hydrocarbon. Compound containing carbon, hydrogen is called hydrocarbon. Okay. So this much we learned from the first page, that is 101, from the chapter carbon and its compound. So if you want, you can repeat the video to understand better. Thank you.